Popular comedian Gilbert Gottfried has at the age of 67, according to a post on social media, his family. "We are heartbroken to announce the passing of our beloved Gilbert Gottfried after a long illness. In addition to being the most iconic voice in comedy, Gilbert was a wonderful husband, brother, friend and father to his 2 young children. Although today is a sad day for all of us, please keep laughing as loud as possible in Gilbert's honor," it read. Story continues below. Actor Jason Alexander inadvertently posted his condolences prior to the family announcement, which spread the news across social media. "Gilbert Gottfried made me laugh at times when laughter did not come easily. What a gift. I did not know him well, but I loved what he shared with me. My best wishes and sympathy to his family. #RIP Gilbert Gottfried, Jason Alexander, April 12, 2022. Beloved and iconic comedian Gilbert Gottfried passed away at 2:35 p.m. ET on April 12, 2022, from recurrent ventricular tachycardia due to myotonic dystrophy type 2, said Gottfried's longtime friend and publicist Glenn Schwartz in a statement. Myotonic dystrophy is the most common form of muscular dystrophy, characterized by progressive muscle wasting and weakness, which can trigger a dangerously abnormal heartbeat. Story continues below. Gottfried was born in 1955 in Brooklyn, the son of a hardware store owner and a stay-at-home mom. He performed comedy for more than 50 years, starting stand-up as young as age 15 in local New York City comedy clubs. He was hired as a cast member for a brief stint during the 6th season of Saturday Night Live in 1980, and became popular throughout the decade, appearing regularly on game show Hollywood Squares and on Howard Stern's radio show. Known for his unique, shrill voice, Gottfried voiced parrot Iago in beloved 1992 Disney animated classic Aladdin. He was famous for his crude, off-color humor. A fiercely independent and intentionally bizarre comedian's comedian, he was as likely to clear a room with anti-comedy as he was to with his jokes. Gilbert's brand of humor was brash, shocking and frequently offensive, but the man behind the jokes was anything but. Gottfried's friend and podcast co-host Frank Santopadre said in a statement. Those who loved him were fortunate enough to share his orbit, knew a person who was sweet, sensitive, surprisingly shy, and filled with a childlike sense of playfulness and wonder. Tish Cyrus files for divorce from Billy Ray Cyrus after 28-year marriage. Story continues below. He was particularly fond of doing obscure and dated impressions for as long as he could milk them, including Groucho Marx, Bela Lugosi, and Andrew Dice Clay. In his early days at the club The Comedy Store in Hollywood, the managers would have him do his impression of then little-known Jerry Seinfeld at the end of the night to get rid of lingering patrons. Gottfried was especially beloved by his fellow comedians and performers. I am so sad to read about the passing of Gilbert Gottfried. Funny, politically incorrect but a softie on the inside. We met many times, he even pranked me on a plane, replacing my INTE Preter 655 JACK. Sending love to Dara and his children. RIP #Gilbert Gottfried our form Supersnow, Marley Matlin April 12, 2022. I shall miss you, my friend, my sometimes foil, my always pain in my side, usually from the belly laughs. The heavens are a great deal louder with you out there now, I'm sure. Keep shaking their heads and smiling, Gilbert. https://t/wv1uglkcqy, George Takei April 12, 2022. Story continues below. Rest in peace to Gilbert Gottfried, who has probably the best sequence in game show history on Hollywood Squares. If you're not an old hag like me who remembers the rules, both contestants needed his square to secure the 5-square win, but he decided to troll both of them. Exizygod, Manny April 12, 2022. Gottfried was interviewed by the Associated Press last month following Will Smith's Oscar night slap of Chris Rock. While he took the attack seriously, saying it might imperil other comedians, he couldn't resist wisecracks. He said that before on stage, he just had to worry about wearing a mask. Now I have to worry about wearing a football helmet. He later added, if Will Smith is reading this, dear God, please don't come to my shows. Gottfried's shtick wasn't always popular. In 2011, Aflac Incorporated fired him, as the voice of the duck in its commercials over tasteless tweet the comic sent about the earthquake and tsunami in Japan. Less than a month after the attacks of September 11, 2001, at the Friars Club roast of Hugh Hefner, Gottfried made jokes about planes making stops at skyscrapers, and was met with boos and shouts of "too soon." He responded with an especially foul version of the comedian's inside joke, "The Aristocrats," which many in the audience took as a message that he believed it was the comic's job to remain crude at all costs. Story continues below. "To me, funny is funny," he told the AP last month. "I'll regret a bit I do that just doesn't get a laugh, because it's not funny, or an ad-lib that doesn't work. But if it gets a laugh, I feel like I'm the comedian, and that's my job." He made many notorious contributions to televised roasts, his harshness and love of old Timmy stand-up style making him a perfect contributor. He took famously cruel and relentless jabs at roasties, including George Takei and Roseanne. "Like most monsters, she goes by one name," he said at the Roseanne roast in his signature style, leaning into the microphone, hands spread apart, shouting himself hoarse. "And that name is Rozilla." Gottfried is the third renowned comedian to die so far in 2022, following the S of Bob Saget and Louis Anderson in January. "This photo is very sad now. Rip Bob Saget and rip Louis Anderson. Both good friends that will be missed." DLJ8NTT7LN, Gilbert Gottfried, January 21, 2022. Story continues below. Gottfried is survived by his wife Dara of 15 years, sister Karen, 14-year-old daughter Lily, and 12-year-old son Max. With files from the Associated Press.